I wonder what the future holds for one Dayot Upamecano. Hey guys, Fletch here bringing you another Fletch Talks video, and this video is going to centre around the possible future of one Dayot Upamecano of RB Leipzig. The defender has been under some transfer speculation for a while now, but with the January transfer window open, speculation around not just him, other players as well has been called into question. But of course, he is a special kind of player. He is a player that is highly rated for the present and the future. And going forward, it has been let slip that he may be leaving Leipzig in the very near future, as close to the near future as this summer. And that is only going to intensify the speculation and the rumours that are currently surrounding him. The 22-year-old centre-back is very highly rated. He's been spoke about as to being one of the best talents for his age. And he's a solid defender at that. And given his age, and of course that he's still got enough years ahead of him to still grow and still evolve in this game, he is certainly a player for both the present and the future. A worthwhile investment at that. And therefore, with that being said, he has been linked with a number of clubs, a number of top clubs from across Europe, with both Manchester United and Liverpool as two examples of teams that have been strongly linked with his name. Of course, the man with the giant spoon to stir this giant pot is one Fabrizio Romano, the football journalist and reporter we all know and love, who released a tweet on Monday night saying that although RB Leipzig will not sell in January, he is expected to leave the club in the summer, with many clubs interested and set to open talks with the player's agent in the near future. Then came the kicker. Then came the major talking point to this story. He goes on to state that the release clause is a clause that is a value of 43 million euros. 43 million euros, which works out at about 38 million pounds. And in this day and age, within this transfer market, this transfer window that we currently all know and kind of know the money that's been thrown around and stuff, we know that within this transfer market, 38 million pounds for a 22-year-old player who, despite his age, has a wealth of experience under his belt, is a solid defender playing one of the best clubs in Germany, has played consistently in both a domestic and Champions League football stages, performed on big stages in his career so far, has been absolutely great in doing that, is an absolute bargain in my opinion. The unfortunate reality for RB Leipzig is that, I mean this in a most respectful way possible, they are a stepping stone club. They are a stepping stone club in the sense that Leipzig were founded just over 12 years ago, and although many will say that their rise through the Bundesliga has been heavily influenced by the amount of money that's been involved and the wealth that their club has, it's still been a good story to follow, don't get me wrong, but right now at the present time, Leipzig don't have the history or the elite level of standing within Europe to properly compete with the powers that be of like a Manchester United, a Liverpool, a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, and so on and so forth, and even Juventus to that degree. It's the reason why Leipzig have been forced to sell a couple of big name players in recent years alone. You look at the likes of Naby Keita and Timo Werner jumping ship to the Premier League, being the big name signings to have left the club over the past few years as examples of why, for right now, they are the kind of club that they are. But the truth is, in the near future, we could be seeing more departures leave Leipzig, as the German club may have acquired and built a very good squad that has got a number of young and talented players. And with that being said, Upamecano isn't the only highly rated player that they currently have within their ranks, but he does appear to be the next high-profile name to be on his way out of the club, and is probably going to move on to, with all due respect of course, bigger and better things. Of course, the grass isn't always green on the other side, but with his potential and his current ability, he very well could be on to bigger and better things, he hopes anyway. But I think I'm one of the many that is surprised that the fee is just a fee of £40 million, or just under £40 million. It's still a lot, I grant you. I understand that it's still a lot of money within this day and age of football, and I understand that it is due to a release clause, as quoted by Fabrizio Romano, of course, and it's part of his negotiated contract, and for that, I'm a little surprised that Leipzig didn't probably have the foresight to either remove the clause as soon as he was into his contract, or try and sell him before the clause became active or whatever. But given how much money is in the game these days, given the type of player he is, what he brings to a squad, and the data and the attributes that he possesses, for a long-term investment, £38 million or 43 million euros or whatever it is, could be a major bargain for the lucky club that manages to snap up his signature. As I previously stated, both Manchester United and Liverpool have been heavily linked with the French defender's name. Would he be a good fit for United? I think he definitely would be an upgrade as to what they already have there. In my opinion, I'd say that Eric Bailly is arguably United's best defender at the club, but his injury-prone record does go against him in that respect. And I'm not completely sold on Victor Lindelof either. Harry Maguire was definitely not worth the £80 million price tag that United bought him for, but I can't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dropping him. So Upamecano would probably come in to partner the England defender. As for Liverpool, they've had a number of injuries this season that they've had to deal with, and the big ones appear to all have come in the defensive area. Next season, of course, we hope that we see Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk return for the Reds. And if they're to learn from this season, an extra natural choice defender who's clearly an upgrade on the youngsters that they already have at their disposal at the club, and therefore would be a wise position to strengthen in the summer or the transfer window, whatever you want to call it. And I personally would love to see Upamecano at the club that I support. Of course I would. Should he arrive, of course, I would reckon that Upamecano would challenge Joe Gomez for a starting place, although many have questioned whether the price tag may put Liverpool off pursuing the 22-year-old. But to that, I say that if you look back to last summer, we just spent £40 million on Diego Jota, and many were expecting him to be a second choice player behind our natural front three. So why not go all out on signing Upamecano? Why not? He'll be the third choice or second choice in a choice of 4 natural born centre-backs. Joel Matip, of course, squad player now because of his injury record. And if you look at the way that Manchester City handle business, I know it's different because Manchester City have a wealth and bottomless pockets of money, it seems. But do you think they really cared when they bought Ruben Diaz shortly after buying Nathan Ake? They spent 62 million on Ruben Diaz, they spent 40 million on Nathan Ake. They bought them both at the same time, and they already had Aymeric Laporte already at the club. Do you think they really cared when they bought them two kind of players? Nah, because it will be a solid boost on our defence that already is there, and a strong asset for years to come, I feel, if we go all out for Upamecano. There are probably a number of centre-back options out there otherwise than Upamecano, but I think this guy, for me, should be top of our list, certainly. Other names that are rumoured to be linked with Upamecano's name include Chelsea, where he may or may not be joining the Frank Lampard project, as it were. It really depends on how Chelsea's season goes, I reckon, because Chelsea's season in recent weeks has turned a little sour, hasn't it? So we're going to have to wait and see if that one turns out. And of course, the other name linked is, of course, Bayern Munich. No prizes for guessing that Bayern Munich are linked with his name. You know, because being Bayern Munich basically means that you have the power to cherry pick the best players from your own domestic league. You have the power to cherry pick the best players from the Bundesliga and use your power to to acquire them and build and continue to strengthen arguably one of the best teams in Europe and definitely the best team in Germany. So we'll wait and see how that one turns out. I am hearing though, and a lot of people are hearing that the Premier League does seem to be the more likely option as to where Dayot Upamecano will be playing his football for next season. But of course, for full confirmation and for that news to be concrete, we'll have to wait and see on his decision. But the future certainly is bright for one Dayot Upamecano. But of course, these are just the opinions, the thoughts, the comments, the ramblings of just one guy. I want to know what you guys think. Where do you think the future of Dayot Upamecano will lie? Do you think he'll come to the Premier League? Do you think he'll stay in the Bundesliga? Is there another league out there, such as Serie A, La Liga, even the French league maybe, where Upamecano could be playing his football for next season? I'd love to know your thoughts, your comments, your predictions, opinions, down below in the comment section. I'm sure they'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video.